Do you want to see Mechagodzilla fight against the Iron Giant and the Gundam?
I do!
Well, stick around.
Hi everyone, I'm Bill.
I'm Justin.
And welcome to
Car
Reviews. It's been a while.
Movies have been slow.
God, is this how it usually is in March and April?
March usually has some better movies, but the movies that have been coming out have been,
Yeah. But we're going to solve that problem.
With probably one of the funnest movies we've seen
In a while.
Well, Black Panther was fun too, but this is a more unadulterated, fun movie, in my opinion.
This is Ready Player One. Directed, of course, by the great
Steven Spielberg.
One of my favorite directors.
One of mine as well. So Spielberg, in recent years, hasn't been that big on the blockbusters sense of things.
He's been trying to go for more like Oscar bait.
The more Oscar baity movies and
like Bridge of Spies,
The Post, Lincoln, which are all fine and good, but
this is like
I love him for his blockbusters.
This is like the Jaws, the E.T., the Indiana Jones Spielberg.
And
And
we haven't seen that Spielberg in a while. The last one that actually probably did pretty good was Minority Report. And even that's sort of on the bleaker end of things. It doesn't have that same je ne sais quoi that his other blockbusters have. But this is a return to form. The plot, my friend.
okay, thank you. Okay, so Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan, right?
Yep.
He lives in the real world in Columbus in the year 2045.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 27 years from now. It takes place in the future.
In the year 2045.
So anyway, he goes into this game, which is in this world called the Oasis, in which basically the whole world is in it too. There was this competition that is about like, I don't know, 5 years old, or
a 5-year-old competition,
which is when the creator of the game, Mr. James Halliday, Halloway, were like as there were 3 keys. And if you win the Oasis. When he gets help...
And his share of $500 billion.
Yeah. As he gets help with, as he gets a little help from his best friend, H.
Mm-hmm. And his new companion, Artemis.
Known by the real name, Samantha.
Samantha Cook, played by Olivia Cook.
Convenience! And they basically have to they're basically trying to win the Oasis, all the while trying to stop the villain, who is a
guy in a suit who's a part of a corporate empire trying to rule the Oasis. And
played by someone from Rogue One, right?
Ben Mendelsohn, who was Krennic in Rogue One, the main villain.
I really liked this movie.
This was a very, very fun movie.
The world is just so big. And it really just sucks you in.
The limits of the Oasis is your own imagination. And Spielberg really went all out on that. Like, yes, there was some... I'm not going to say some. I'm going to say a lot of pop culture references because...
Once in a while, I was kind of like, okay, you know...
I'd probably just see this movie again just to see who else I can find in this.
But some of them I was like kind of, this is funny.
Oh yeah, there was a whole sequence in this movie dedicated to The Shining.
Which was pretty cool. And it was creepy.
It was, honestly, on a scare by scare factor, I would say it's probably scarier than the actual Shining movie, because I found The Shining to be more unsettling than full on going for the scares and all that.
Yeah. And like I said, it really sucks you into the world.
Yes, it's so immersive, and this is something that is totally Spielberg. I am glad that Spielberg was the director they got for this movie. Because here's the thing about Spielberg. Spielberg, ever since Close Encounters...
So we're going back 40-something years.
Ever since Close Encounters...
Of the third kind.
Ever since Close Encounters, he's made the audience see his worlds with a sense of childlike wonder, and it almost makes you think whether or not Spielberg really grew up fully from that kid who would sneak around the Universal lot.
Well, it's like Steven Spielberg. Again, he has that childlike wonder, and it's really
Whimsical.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, Bill.
Whimsy! Whimsy! But it, and, like, for instance, the end of this film, it's actually kind of touching.
It is a super Hollywood ending. It really is. I love it for it, but it is so Hollywood.
We won't get into spoiler territory. But I will say this. The characters, love them. They were very enjoyable.
They're enjoyable. Yes, they are very enjoyable. Deep, I wouldn't go that far.
Were you expecting something big, deep, and complex?
No, but I've heard that being like a common complaint about the movie, that it's not, that the characters aren't exactly Shakespeare, like they're not deep and overly developed, which I'm like, yeah, I don't really, like, I love character-driven movies, and character-driven genre movies are fantastic. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably one that I sort of think of, because while the plot was generic, and it is generic, the characters more than make up for it, because they have intricacies, they have backstory, and all that. This movie, I say, has sort of the opposite effect, in that the plot's a little, I'm not going to say it's generic, because the execution makes up more for the plot's, I'm losing my train of thought. It just, I'm at a loss for words.
But what were you trying to say?
What I'm trying to get at is, yes, the characters are not that deep, but they're very enjoyable. The story is very enjoyable. There's a reason why these types of stories keep getting made, is because they work, and they work well when they're executed well. And this movie was executed very well.
And I couldn't agree more. And you know what, something else I really liked? Something that we don't really talk about. Really, I like the music, the score, the soundtrack.
This score it feels like something that would come out of Amblin Entertainment. In that, it has the feel of a Spielberg movie. It has a feel of a Robert Zemeckis movie. And you know why? Especially a Robert Zemeckis movie, because Alan Silvestri, the composer of Back to the Future,
and Who Framed Roger
Rabbit, he was the composer for this.
Yep.
It was supposed to be John Williams, but he was too busy working on The Post. Another Spielberg movie.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I know it's not technically the same year, but within a few months, it's the same. It's basically like Spielberg hasn't done this in like 20-something years when he releases in the same year a serious movie and a fun movie.
A blockbuster.
Yeah, like how 20-something years ago he did Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in the same year. And now how he does like The Post and this. But like I said, in the two Spielberg movies I've seen this year with this, I think Spielberg knocks it out of the park both times. And this shows that how some directors can only do, one genre and the other one. This shows Spielberg can be both whimsical and serious.
Yes, and even in his serious movies, he never really goes full dark. This is something that Rob Walker from Channel Awesome kind of brought up as that,
We love you, Rob.
Yes, that even at his darkest, he can never go all the way because there's still a ray of light there. There's that little speck of hope.
Like the red coat in Schindler's List, or. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, Spielberg can be both whimsical and can be serious.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's one of the greatest directors. Like, again, is this like some... I know it's late March, early April, but, is this going to be like... If this was released during the appropriate time, would this be like Oscar buzz?
No. Absolutely not.
If you're looking for something big, deep, and complex... No.
No, you go for those Best Picture nominations that everyone's clamoring on about, like Three Billboards or Shape of Water or...
If you want just some good popcorn fun.
This is a great popcorn film. The pop culture icons in this movie. It's
Chucky.
just... Chucky was a very fun one. Like I said...
There was a Beetlejuice one.
Yes, there's a Beetlejuice one. I saw Harley Quinn in there.
Yep.
Batman climbing up Mount Everest.
I still want to do that.
You could have, like I said in the beginning, you had Mechagodzilla fighting the Iron Giant and a Gundam.
That was as cool
as it sounds.
Yeah. So, I really liked this movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film to watch. And that's why I'm going to give it a drum roll, please. 2 thumbs up. You? Done! Alright, now that was our review of Ready Player One. Okay, let's talk about the future, shall we?
I remember you saying you wanted to see Chappaquiddick.
We don't know yet. We might not. It's an up in the air one. I do want to see it. Also, you all know what we're gonna do. End of
April.
You all know it's coming. It's MCU time.
Oh, yes.
It's more than MCU time. It's
Infinity War.
I can't wait. You?
It's gonna be intense.
And then let's see. In May, we're gonna have a big month.
Deadpool.
Solo.
It's gonna be a fun blockbuster season, and I'd say it has just begun.
Is today the unofficial start of blockbuster season?
Well, I think they were trying to start it in February this year with Black Panther, and then they tried to do A Wrinkle in Time and Tomb Raider. Like, blockbusters are coming out like clockwork now.
Because usually blockbusters come out
in the summer. But the summer is still the prime blockbuster time. Like, here's the thing. Right now, these movies make big money on the weekends.
Yeah.
But during the week, not so much. you know, because kids are still in school and yada, yada,
People
yada.
have to work.
Exactly. But during the summer, the kids don't have school. They're on break, and teachers, they'll obviously have off. So yeah, that's sort of how it goes. So summer is still the prime spot for these type of movies.
No, but if you say even Black Panther, I think it's still the top spot, is it?
No, it was number 2.
What was number 1?
Pacific Rim Uprising.
Okay, but for a couple weeks it was number...
For 5 weeks, it was number 1.
Yeah.
You know what was the last movie to do that?
What?
Titanic.
Really?
No, wait. Maybe it was Avatar.
Some movie by James Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed this review. And we'll see you next time. Bye!
You might as well jump.
Dun, dun, dun.